Good evening, friends. Welcome to Bollywood Talent Club's live on air. It's Monday, April 7, 2025. It's 10:45 p.m. New York time. And we have a very special talk today, a topic on acupuncture. So we are going to have the talk with our friend Siraj Vanjara, licensed acupuncturist live. Without further delay, let me bring in Siraj Vanjara. You're welcome, sir, on broadcast. How are you?
How are you? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Okay,
Ahmed,
okay.
how are you?
Something very interesting talk you're trying to bring into our viewers about acupuncture. So before we start working on some details, can you explain what exactly is acupuncture? Please go ahead.
Acupuncture is a part of Chinese medicine. It's one aspect. Chinese medicine
Ji.
encompasses acupuncture along with massage therapy, herbal medicine, which I'm also licensed in, and cupping and tuina, tai chi. All of that is part of Chinese medicine.
Okay.
And Chinese medicine is a system.
Okay.
So a part of how you have Western medicine,
Correct.
and Western medicine, you can treat. If you go to the doctor, you can treat so many things in Western medicine.
Yeah.
But they have, and that's a system in itself.
Ji.
Similarly, in India, they have Ayurvedic medicine.
Okay.
Within Ayurvedic medicine, you can treat so many things.
Okay.
Gut problems, mental problem, whatever it is, skin issues, you can treat within Ayurvedic. Similarly, Chinese medicine has the same concept. Within Chinese medicine, you can treat many things within that. It's a system in itself.
Correct.
Irrespective of, it does not need Western medicine in order for it to function.
Oh, okay. Now, the question, Siraj, is Western medicine is very popular around the globe. So is Chinese medicine also is gaining popularity? It has already been in existence beyond China?
Yeah, I mean, Chinese medicine has been here for a very long time, and in Europe, more so in Europe than over here. I mean, over there, I mean, they've embraced it, and over here also, they have also embraced it. It's been here since 1970. The only problem is that they have not allowed it to, they're trying to suppress it for so many years. They did not want to promote it. The whole issue with the China and the Japanese, they were not really, the whole conflict. And now recently, more and more insurances are accepting it, which is great. More insurances are accepting it, but they are still trying to limit acupuncture, and they're still trying to prevent it from actually being treated to the fullest extent.
Gaining popularity. So who does this? The medicine part, Western medicine part of it?
Say that again.
No. Who's actually trying to discourage Chinese medicine spreading out in the United States?
A lot of the pharmaceutical companies. They don't make money. They won't make money. I have patients that come in and they want to be treated for cancer. I have patients that want to be treated for glaucoma, patients that want to be treated for diabetes, people that want to be treated for ulcerative colitis, and I've treated them. But when I submit to the insurance, I cannot say this. I have to say, it's only for pain for the knee, or it's only pain for the back. They won't allow us to treat the way we are capable of treating. And people know when they look it up online. I mean, the popularity has grown that lots of people are now understanding and looking at Chinese medicine, that so much can be treated from it. And I mean, there's still, people, there are still, of course, skeptics to it. But generally speaking, the information is out there. And a lot of those who are looking for it will see it, and they have experienced it, though, So they pay out of pocket. But there's no, and it's unfortunate that they have to pay out of pocket for a lot of this stuff because of the suppression that's happening.
Acupuncture is not covered by most health insurances in the United States?
Now a lot of acupuncture is covered by, so Aetna, Cigna, Blue Cross, United Healthcare, Oxford. I mean, a lot of insurances are now accepting $11.99. A lot of insurance are accepting it now, but they will it's like I had a patient today that came in. He was MTA Transit,
Yeah.
and he didn't even know when they called to ask for the coverage and benefits. So, the representative doesn't even know that they have the coverage. It's like, oh, let me see, let me look into this. Oh, yes, you do. She's like, oh, a lot of people don't even ask about this, and so I don't really know myself. Let me look at your plan. So unless you even ask, the representative doesn't even know. It's such a, it's an alternative therapy.
No.
So when you bill it and everything, it's like put to the side, but it is covered.
I have one question here. When you went to school to become a licensed acupuncture, Chinese medicine as we call it in whole, but in school, do they also teach how to promote this part of medicine, or we should patients should be made aware?
How to promote? No,
How do
they
you
don't.
promote? I'm saying promote.
No. When you go to school, all they teach you is how to be able to do your job.
Okay. Not as
But being able to teach people and explain to people, half the job is half the patients. You have to teach them. You have to explain it to everybody little by little, one by at a time. But they don't teach that in school. I mean, the first step, I think, is for people to actually do their job correctly and provide results.
Okay.
Then,
I'm seeing a clock here. Can you talk a little bit more about the clock? I'm just putting for the viewers to watch. I'm putting a clock here. So what exactly the clock represents? Can you just talk a few lines about that?
Sure. So in Chinese medicine, there is a let's back up for a second. People understand the circadian rhythm.
Okay.
You know what circadian rhythm is, right? Your biological clock.
Correct.
Your body's flows, and how each area is. If you look at the clock, it'll indicate to each organ at each time when the optimal time for that particular organ is. So, for example, between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., it'll show the lungs and colon. And that is the time that, generally speaking, in the past, people would go when they would wake up around 5 o'clock. They would go, when the sun comes out, you're going to go out and people do meditation. And then they go, for those people who are, I guess, religious or whatnot, between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. is when a lot of people would do yoga, tai chi, deep meditation. They would breath work. They would, and a lot of the times people would do that before they would go out in the market, before they would start work.
So early.
Before they went out into the field farming, they would do all of this stuff and then start their day around 6 o'clock. It will tell you each, and there's a reason why 5 o'clock is important. Because it is reflection of your lungs. That oxygen. This is the time where your lungs are most active, and that's the time when you should be up doing meditation.
Wow.
And another good example is prior to that, you'll have it. So a lot of times people wake up in the middle of the night. Beach Ratme, they'll wake up, 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll wake up Ratme, right? And they cannot go to sleep.
Right.
And this is this is also very important in the sense that, it indicates to you, because that particular time has to do with your liver. It has to do with the deep sleep. Not everybody is able to get that deep sleep, and liver activity, when it's overactive and not nourished properly, it will make you wake up. There's imbalances inside. It's indication to you that a lot of people, they come in, I wake up in the middle of the night often. Some people wake up, but they can go back to sleep. Some people wake up and they actually get physically up and go to the bathroom and urinate.
Oh my God.
And I have patients that are from the ages, like 20, 30 years old, waking up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, going to the bathroom. And some people are getting older and they do that. But I tell patients, 30 years old, whatever, this is not a problem at 30 you should be experiencing. I mean, it's something that as you get older, you should be experiencing. Physically waking up and going to urinate in the middle of the night is not is not something that a young person
supposed to.
Okay. And the clock, if you are able to see it on the screen, 3 o'clock, around 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is your liver, and that is deep sleep. That is That is when liver activity is flourishing. I mean, I can get into more explicit details. I could get into more explicit details, but I will leave it at that for liver. And then you'll see. How I don't know if they have this in India sometimes. Do they go to sleep?
Right.
After, like that, or like after lunch or beach kam ke baad, they'll go to sleep a little bit. This is a good habit. This is a good habit, and you see that in the around like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock lunchtime. Little small nap is good to recharge the body. That's the small intestine. It shows this in the clock. It tells you how to live, how to function, what organ is responsible for what's your the activity should be optimal, what you should be doing periods of time, you're between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. I believe. I can't from the clock. I think is where your kidneys are. So that's a good time your kidneys are active at that time, and you can eat lunch, you can eat dinner at that time. It'll certain at that particular time your kidney yang rises, and your certain foods you should be having at that particular time. Raat mein, compared to having food subah mein, 10 o'clock when you have excuse me for breakfast.
You mean to say certain foods at certain time of the day, certain hours of the day you should take it?
Yes. Very important, certain foods.
Okay.
Like, for example, subah mein, better to have carbohydrates, subah mein.
Carbohydrates.
Instead of raat mein. You're going to go out, you're going to be active in daytime.
Correct.
So you're going to burn the carbs. So people in the past, what do? They have oatmeal. They have, banana. You have your, you can have more carbohydrates in the morning because you're going to burn it. But in the evening, when you're going to go to sleep, you don't want to have something very heavy. But you also, you want to be full and go to bed. More fat in the evening. More fat. More fat, healthy fats like eggs, avocado, cheese, and oils. You want to have nuts and seeds, like you want to have healthy fat, and then of course your protein. That'll help you get deep sleep, better sleep, and it'll keep you full.
So you mean to say at night before you sleep, in dinner time you can have fatty food?
Yes, healthy fat. Healthy fat.
Yeah. Okay.
not like a cheesecake,
Correct. I'm trying to understand. Okay. Okay. But you can still fall asleep if you eat healthy fat.
Yeah, you can fall asleep better. You can have restful sleep. It's good for that, for your body. You need fat. You need fat for testosterone, for men. You need the fat. That's why eggs are so good for you. With the yolk, with the yellow.
But age limit is there, right? What age you can eat? 85, 75, 80 years old can have that kind of eggs?
Yes, 75 can have those types of eggs. Yes.
Oh my
the
God.
yellow is the main. The yellow is the main source.
Yolk.
Yeah, the yolk has all the nutrients in it. So if you throw the nutrients out, you just have the white. You're not really having anything. You can have like 3 yolks, and you can have the rest if you want to have other. If you're still not full, the rest can be all egg white. Whatever you can at least 3 yolks you should have, and then the rest could be have eggs white.
But
okay,
the Western medicine says if you take too much of yolk, you're going to high cholesterol.
They want to, you know what? This is, LDL is important, and you need the LDL cholesterol in order to repair your body, to build testosterone, So cholesterol is very important, very important. What they're afraid of is the fact that you're going to have the cholesterol, and then you're going to build up plaque.
Plaque, yes.
This is what they're afraid of. That you're eating so much. So now your body, when you like run or when you exercise or you move and you move quickly, you'll have micro tears inside, and then the plaque. Your body will send the cholesterol inside the arteries to repair that. So you'll start having plaque. Plaque will start to build up. But this is normal, and the way to clear the plaque, best way to clear is back to what we were saying: oxygen. And so in the morning you do meditate, you have to, similarly to, sometimes you see the commercial in the past, like OxyClean. I remember that commercial for OxyClean.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's like that inside your arteries. The more oxygen, and they have the ozone therapy, oxygen therapy.
Right.
And this stuff you want to have. Even what is the basketball player, LeBron James? He has that oxygen therapy in his home. They do this stuff. The more oxygen you have in your body and your muscles, the faster you can repair. And the faster you can clean your body. Oxygen is very important, but I can't put oxygen in a bottle and give it to somebody. But this is what they don't want, and this is what and then nobody's going to say all this stuff. Because, the Western mainstream is not going to talk about this, because they're not going to, if they talk about this stuff, then healthy lifestyle. Everybody now just wants to take a pill, and they just want to take something simple, and that's it. But, you can't, there's nothing that can beat your diet. Diet and lifestyle is very important. No matter what therapy you do, the person themselves has to be diligent with their own diet and lifestyle.
So in that diet situation, what does the nutritionist's role going to be there? What does the nutritionist does to really, do they really encourage patients to have a healthy diet, like you people in Chinese medicine try to promote a healthy diet as a healthy personality?
So these nutritionists, I have a thing against them also. These nutritionists, they are not doctors.
Okay.
They're not, they're certified, but they're not doctors, and they don't have any ability to diagnose.
Okay.
So people go to nutritionists, but but the nutritionist is always, from what I have understood in my experience, is that those nutritionists are using it as a conjunction to something else. But the nutritionist itself does not have any ability to diagnose. So if they cannot diagnose, how could they recommend you something? If they don't know if they don't know your diagnosis, well, how can they do? So what they're doing is they're just giving you a general plan. Oh, this is what you. And I had a patient, she wanted to get pregnant. She's like, oh, I went to a nutritionist, and I looked at it. I was like, this is not going to work. This has nothing to do with what you want to get. You want to get pregnant, and she's like, she only went to her once, and then she came when she was coming to see me. I was treating her. She's doing much better now. She's following my plan for her specific diagnosis. And it really is. And I practice herbal medicine, so I can recommend a diet plan for patients according to their according to their diagnosis for their condition, whatever it may be. And this is the way you help people through diet. But I cannot go and tell people, oh, everybody should be taking, should be having magnesium, and everybody should be having bananas, and it really depends on the individual. And that's the body's dynamic, so it's really important to understand that every particular person, because each person is different. Go back to the woman who was planning to get pregnant. She was told to have more meat, and because she needed red blood cells, iron she needed. Okay.
Okay.
And but her particular condition was that she had blood stagnation. So before the person can start having more function to build blood, the first step is to remove the stagnation, which was not diagnosed by the nutritionist. The nutritionist jumped into part 2 of the treatment without even considering part 1, which was to remove the crappy blood. And this is something that, I tell my patients all the time, and it's something that I have a pet peeve against a lot of these nutritionists is they are not doctors, and it's really aggravating. But the stagnation, which was blood stagnation, congealed blood, crappy blood, had to be cleaned from the body. Once the blood was cleaned, and there's a way to test it. And once somebody comes in, I can show to them, how the blood is clean through our medicine. Once the blood was clean, then yes, you can go and take red meat. You can start having berries for your kidneys. There are things you can do to build blood and strengthen. So step by step,
Okay. I'm seeing another picture image here. Can you just explain? I see some herbs there, some other kind of a packet. What this the image?
Yes. So that picture is when we write herbal prescriptions for patients, there's 4 different forms. We can actually we write the formula, so it's not, we don't give specific herbs or take this. For example, if you go on Amazon or whatnot, there's like, take Yohimbo or something. It's not a single herb that we give. We write a formula, which is multiple herbs accordingly to provide a specific formula for that patient. We write, and it's prescription. When we send it into the pharmacy, the pharmacy can ground it up and make it into a powder. And you'll see that, I think, in the image in the bottles. A lot of them are powders or pills. And then sometimes, if you want the most effective form of the herbs are in a tea liquid. So the pharmacy can actually make the herbal formula for you without you having to do it. A lot of times, sometimes I used to give the herbs themselves to the patients, and it would last much longer. And I told them to actually do the work at home, boil the herbs, strain it, and then the liquid that's strained from the boiling all the herbs is what you would drink. Too much homework for the patients. So now the pharmacy can do all of that work for you. It's more expensive, of course, but is the most what's that word called? It's the most effective, is the most potent, strongest version of the herbs, and it will give you the results very quickly. Otherwise, you can take pills, which commonly a lot of patients, they'll take the pills. And herbal medicine is unique. Not everybody can do herbal medicine prescriptions. A lot of patients, it's not covered by insurance. A lot of people are afraid of herbal medicine, but herbal medicine a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs come from herbs. They extract the components from the herbs and they make the drugs so they can, make money from that. But herbal medicine is
So there is definitely some blocking somewhere not to get more promotion on this kind of herbal and whatever medicines, right?
Yeah, there is definitely. Now there is a more insurance. Like I said, more insurances have been accepted to this, but there is definitely from my experience, there is definitely either maybe ignorance, I don't know, but definitely just the inability for the insurance companies and the hospitals. For example, the hospitals now having acupuncturists in Europe, they can do a lot more. But over here, I have a friend who worked at one of the I forgot hospital in Manhattan, the city, and they're not allowed to treat to the capabilities that they're able to. They're very limited there. It's all for pain. only pain management. And we're put in a little box that all you can do is neck pain, back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. This is all you're allowed to do. And it's something what they want to do is they want to, there is no significant,
value for it.
No, what they say is that there is no, they have, you know how they have to do a double-blinded placebo, they do that type of test to actually test a scientific test. They want to do a double-blinded test, and that's something that cannot be performed for acupuncture because in those situations, though, both the patient and the acupuncturist cannot know. But it's impossible for that to happen because when that happens, it's okay the patient may not know what's going on, what the points are being used.
Right.
But the acupuncturist always knows what the points are. So how can you do that type of test? And that's why they say, there's a lot of testing in China done and research where they have actually, there's so much more ahead of us in China. They've done open heart surgery. With acupuncture.
Wow. I just want to make one thing very clear. Friends, we are having a general discussion here. Any particular problems you have, personal problems, you should check with your personal professional, as we're just having a general talk here because make patients aware, people aware there is some science as acupuncture, there is science in herbal medicine. So just and do more research on yours in Google or whatever literature you can get and ask your personal physician also about this. This way they'll be more aware of it. And this doesn't mean that we are trying to trying to diagnose or trying to treat any particular condition here. So just make sure that we just want to give a little disclaimer here, right? Okay, go ahead, continue, please.
Absolutely, yes. Always ask the medical doctor's opinions first.
Yes.
This is just something extra that is an option to explore for patients who want a second opinion.
Exactly. And one more question I have, Siraj, is when a patient is going through a treatment in Western medicine with a doctor, and if they change the mind or just go to other medicine like herbal medicine or acupuncture, whatever, does that contradict they still continue the treatment with the physician and then still continue treatment with the other medicine, other medical, whatever you call it, herbal or...
Yeah. So I have patients that come to see me. They continue to do their therapy or their treatment with their Western doctors. For example, they have blood pressure medication.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, and like I said, speak to your doctor before anything. I have patients that come to see me for blood pressure and high blood pressure.
Right.
I treat patients and I cut their medication in half. Yeah. And the patients, they're going to go to the doctor. This is not right. The doctor is not going to be like, no, you have to take the blood pressure medication this much. You can't stop it. And I cannot advise the patient to stop it either.
Correct.
That's not, but many of my patients have cut their medication in half.
Cut the medication into half because of what? Acupuncture or because of...
the acupuncture and the herbs that I provide. I'll give you a good example. I have another patient that came to me. You know the medicine gabapentin for the nerves? Gabapentin, have you heard of this?
No.
So gabapentin has really bad side effects.
Actually.
And I had a patient of mine who had damage for the cervical spine and numbness down here, and they gave him gabapentin, like 3 grams 3 times a day.
Wow.
And it's a lot. He had so much nerve damage. I did the acupuncture and I gave him some herbs. His medication is cut from 3 times a day. Now he's only taking it twice a day, morning and night.
Coming back to, we were talking about herbal medicine, all this. Coming back to acupuncture, what exactly is the science there? The needles go into the muscle, go into the nerve, or go just into the skin deep?
It's just so acupuncture itself, the way it works is you don't have to go into the muscle deep.
Okay.
That's a form of acupuncture. That's something what you have the physical therapists and other professionals trying to encroach on our territory by doing dry needling. So they'll go into the muscle and they'll trigger you do a trigger point with that. This is something that we also practice. But the acupuncture part itself, the actual acupuncture, you don't put in so deep, you just put it superficially onto the skin. And your skin has multiple layers.
Right.
Epithelium,
cutaneous, okay.
Fascia,
Fascia,
and one of the layers is called fascia, right? And each organ wrapped around fascia.
Correct.
Right, and then by that itself, so as you get higher and up to the surface of the skin, fascia is all connected.
Correct.
So if I put something, so if the needle is in your foot and is stimulated, it's through the fascia that that the acupuncture is able to manipulate and internally massage the organs. This is how acupuncture works. So acupuncture can internally massage spleen, pancreas, gallbladder, liver.
It doesn't hit the organ per se.
It doesn't hit because you're not putting the needle in so deep. You're only putting it superficially and manipulating it from that. And that is how you can manipulate the organ internally, massage it internally.
I have another question. Acupuncture just stimulates the peripheral nerve or goes central nerves also?
Then it doesn't stimulate it stimulates the nerves by proxy, but it's not stimulating the fascia. It is through the fascia that the acupuncture is able to think of it like fibers.
Right.
Think the needle itself is, let's say, metal or whatever form acupuncturists use. By stimulating the needle inside the fascia, you can create current. People have found a lot of times people feel like, I felt like an electric shock go up. It's like there is an actual term. It's called piezoelectricity or piezoelectricity. But these are small currents that can be stimulated through just manipulating the fascia with the needles. And this is how acupuncture works.
If anybody would like to ask questions to you, is there any way they can reach out to you to just get an information about what we are talking here?
Yeah, absolutely. They can reach me out at my email. It's bonafide acupunc BONAFIDE ACUPUNC @gmail, or just you can call the office also. At 702-907-7171. More than happy to help answer.
Because the patient will definitely like to get more information, right? That's why we will be able to talk to them more. All right, so thank you very much, Siraj, for having a good time here to make patients understand what exactly acupuncture. I had no idea what acupuncture, to be honest with you. So now I'm going to slowly understand what it is. So the more we keep talking about the patients, the people get aware of it. So they get more curious, they're intrigued, and they want to find out more facts, and that's how I think we try to promote this kind of thing. You agree with me, right?
I would love that. That would be the more I can explain to let people know and teach them, that would be the best,
The louder the music, people enjoy the music. The louder we talk, the more we talk. People, there is something alternate medicine is there, acupuncture. Wow, we haven't heard that. There's no needles there, there's no medicine there, it just goes through the nerves. So that will be very interesting. So hopefully we'll try to bring you back another day, hopefully next week, and we'll go further on this, all right?
I would love it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was amazing.
Thank you. Anytime. Okay, thank you very much, friends, for having watched the program. And please, have any questions, you can check on Bonafide. What's the address?
Bonafideacupuncture.com.
Bonafideacupuncture.com. You can check it and can get more information from Siraj Banjara. He's practicing in Brooklyn, I guess. Am I right?
Yes. Okay. Brooklyn, Bay Ridge office. In
Bay Ridge offices. Okay. So you can check on Google also. It's going to be there. All right? So thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Okay. Take care, friends. Take care. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.